Hello, hello, and welcome to this edition of Mindful Moments. All right, so today I want to talk to you about the kitchen and cooking in particular. All right, so if you are anything like me, sometimes that particular room of your house can be one that you go to all out war with. Okay, I know that I have been at war with food in general, but cooking specifically for too long, right? And it kind of messes things up a little bit because when you are on a wellness journey, we in the midlife mamas, we are all about taking back our health, our wealth, our families, and our future, right? So part of taking back our health is being super really responsible for the things that we are putting into our body, for the things that we are using to fuel ourselves. And so it's super important that we aren't always eating out, that we aren't always grabbing the fast, easy food, but that we're actually spending some time preparing it. That is not anything that I love to do. So this is just honest time, right? But I know that I need to because we know that over 70% of body issues, weight problems, so on, can be tackled by proper nutrition. A lot of our health and wellness, you cannot out exercise a bad diet. In diet, I mean nutrition, right? I'm not meaning like following a specific diet plan. So let's talk about this cooking challenge, right? So let me know in the comments, are you someone that A, cooks home 5 or more nights a week or days a week, depending on when you have your main meal? B, just a couple of times? Or C, hardly at all? You're busy, you guys are on the go, you're running, and you're here, there, and everywhere. And so you just grab what you can when you can. Right? So I'd love to know what camp that you fall in, A, B, and C. Let me know that. This week's challenge, and also let me know how you're doing on the other challenges. Have you been doing them? Have you been taking on these little nuggets to work on throughout the week until we meet again on a Monday, right? So for this particular one, we just came out of Thanksgiving. So there was probably a lot of cooking going on. So I'd love also to know, were you a cooker or were you just a partaker for Thanksgiving this particular year? We have a wonderful opportunity to spend Thanksgiving with friends of ours. We've been doing that for last several years, actually. And it's a lot of fun. This particular one was a lot of fun because it also happened to be one of their birthday. We had a birthday and we also had a Bills game. So, right, lots of eating going on. Birthday, Bills game, and Thanksgiving all on the same day. So that's a lot of potential food. So as I was planning and looking ahead and saying, okay, well, I have these nutrition goals, I have these health goals, I have this weight that I'm wanting to release. Like, what choices am I going to make that are going to make a day like that successful? Right. So I really challenged myself to look at what I wanted to eat that day and what would also be something that other people would want to eat and things that were going to be healthier options for me than grabbing chips out of the bag, putting a whole bunch of bison chip dip on them because yum. Okay. And mowing those down. So what choices was I going to make? So I brought some healthier options. I brought, instead of 4 pies that I normally make, I just brought two, portion, all this other sort of things. So this week, as we're looking ahead to ending this month and moving into this holiday season, right? Unless you've already considered yourself in the middle of it, I want to really do this cooking challenge. This is not just for me personally. Of course, remember, every challenge that I do is one that I want to do with you, and it's one that I am doing alongside of you. So, the cooking challenge is going to be that you will cook at least 5 meals this week. Um, I would say every single day this week, but if you're someone that is in the C camp, that's probably a little bit too much, right? But for the A or the B, hopefully this is totally doable. So 5 nights this week, 5 days this week, you will actually do some cooking. Now, if you are someone that cooks and then uses, like, you cook on one day and then you eat that for 2 days, then you cook another day, you eat that for 2 days, that counts just as long as the food that you were eating, you cooked. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense. But here's the thing about it. Okay. to add to the challenge, I want it to be fun. I want it to be something that you actually enjoy doing. So I had to start thinking about what are the things that I do that make my willingness to be in the kitchen palatable, right? That I want to do it. And so, two things have made the biggest impact for me, and I want to share them with you. Two things. The first one is always putting on music that lights me up. So I have a playlist on my phone. It's called A Plus Motivation. I call it A Plus Motivation so I can find it. It's at the top of the list, A, right? So I have A motivation, and then I have A uh, inspirational, and then A praise and worship. Those are my three playlists that I do all the time. Okay. And so this A plus motivation, it's those songs like Walking on Sunshine. It's all about that bass, fun songs like that that kind of get me moving and grooving in the kitchen and do a little kitchen dancing. So those of you who've done the happy dance challenge with me, you know how much I love dancing in the kitchen. It makes the kitchen palatable for me to be in it, right? So that's going to be the number one thing is add some music to your routine, get yourself moving. When you're in the process of doing that, you can do, stir, stir, squat, squat, stir, stir, squat, get a little exercise going while you're in the kitchen. Okay. Sometimes it's just like heel raises so that you're working on the back of your calves. It could be a couple of counter chest presses, but you're going to put some music on and you're going to add a little bit of exercise. So that's challenge number one. Okay. Each time that you're preparing a meal in the kitchen. Challenge number two is going to be cooking something that is special to you to share with somebody else. Okay. So it could be a neighbor. It could be somebody who just got out of the hospital. It can be someone at your church, your pastor, maybe that might not have anybody cooking for them on a regular basis. Anything like that. It could be your family members. Perhaps you haven't gotten together with your parents or your kids, depending on which end of the spectrum you're at, in a little bit, and you want to make sure that you get together with them. Now, I know we're just coming off Thanksgiving, so you probably have gotten together with family. So you might need to think a little further out of the box with this, but make something that you can share with other people. Okay. That's an important part of the challenge. So those two things, super simple, but little differences. And let me know if it changes your attitude or the way that you view the kitchen. Now, if you are somebody who loves to cook, add in music and add in cooking for someone else, sharing what you've made with somebody else, and let me know how you feel about that. Let me know if that's something you always do. But let's just talk about it. And if you have a favorite recipe that you want to make for other people and you're willing to share it in the comments, I would love that. I would love, love, love it. And let's share our healthy recipes too, our things that kind of our go-to when we're entering that like cold and flu season has been raging and are moving into that part of the year where people are catching stuff, right? So if you've got a healthy immune boosting recipe that you want to share with us, please do that as well. All right. That's what I've got for you today. That is your mindful moment. Just be really mindful of what we're putting in our mouths, but the time that we're spending in the kitchen and fleshing it out a little bit, making it a little bit more useful, more valuable with your time. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Remember, we are here to build our beautiful together. So let's do some cooking, some healthier eating, some movement, some music, some more joy, and some selflessness by blessing other people. And that is our Mindful Matters Challenge for this week. All right. I will see you next week. Take care.